G'day guys, it's upgrade time for the swag. This one's going to go down and instead we're going to replace it with the air inflatable SAN HIMA single swag. Really keen to test this out, never had an inflatable one. Give this a crack. Comes in this big bag. Have a look at that. Nice travel bag. So now working across, we've got the swag, we've got the manual pump, we have the electric pump, we have the air mattress, we have the poles for the awning, and then we have the guide ropes and pegs, which comes in this little bag as well. There's also 4 bags that come with all the kit, so you got plenty of ways to store your stuff. Point of note for all the SAN HIMA products, I found that they're really good quality and they throw in some little extras that you don't normally get with regular purchases. So to stop you from tripping over all your pegs at night, they are actually glow in the dark as well. Alright, so I've got 2 swags out here. I've got the SAN HIMA Air inflatable one, and then I've also got the Wanderer. So pretty good comparison because they're at a similar price point, sitting around that $300 to $350. As you'll see straight off the bat, when you fold this one down, you've got limitations on folding it down because those straps only go so far. The SAN HIMA one fits in really nicely, and the straps have got plenty of additional cord so that you're not struggling to fold it up. You've got plenty of additional cord to roll it up if you get a bit of a bad roll, whereas on the Wanderer, less forgiving. When you get the kit, it comes with a bunch of bags. I've sort of sorted them into as much of a functional setup as possible. So the big bag's got that, the swag itself, it's then got the pegs and cords. I've then got the air mattress inside this one here, and then on this one here I've got the pump and the awning poles as well. So all of those in functional bags. So what I'll do is I'm just going to work through quickly setting them up and quickly show you how to do both, and we'll talk through pros and cons of both. Get this one here, undo the straps, take them off, put them off to the side, and then just going to unroll it. As you can see, it's a puppy-proof canvas. So going around to this side here, you've got your valve. So you've got an outer valve, and then you've got an inner valve that you can screw in. So screw in the outer valve, and now that's a one-way valve, so it won't let air out when you're then inflating it. Get your pump out, get the hot water out. So you've got 3 different fittings at the end. Go with the large fat fitting, screw it onto the end, hit the valve, plug it in, screw it in nice and tight, and then start pumping. So just to show you how strong the beams are when they're fully inflated, the strongest points are always going to be your corners here, and that can take quite a bit of weight and doesn't fatigue or doesn't deflate or anything like that. The center point's going to be your weakest point. That is the last part to inflate, and it does kink, but generally speaking, take weight for just general sort of wind and that sort of stuff. Apply a bit of weight to the center, we'll still hold it. It's 2.5 kilos. We'll go 5 kilos. Takes 5 kilos. 7.5. Just. Alright, so it does go down after 10, but as soon as you do that, it'll just pop straight back up. As you can see, it can take the weight of a dash hound. Can't take the weight of a corgi. So to set it up completely, still got to peg it in. I'm not going to bother with the bottom ones, but I will do the flaps. It's already pre-tied off the rope here. Really good quality pegs that do glow in the dark. So unzip the canvas, hold that back. Now as you'll see, you've got a massive amount of room inside, and you've got your really strong air beam structure, which you can see in the top. You can see it's really stiff material. You can't really crush it or anything like that. Now the next thing that it comes with is a very thick 17cm air mattress. You get the pump again, and this should go up very quickly. From there, that is the mattress setup. You have a lot of room, Still a lot of head height above, you can sit up, and then also when you lay down, you've got plenty of room. Big thick mattress, plenty of cushion. Finally, you've got the option to then set up an awning. You get 2 poles, and these have a really cool design. They've got a little curve on the end of the pole, so that when your awning's sitting on it, it can't just fly off if there's a bit of wind. Grab my knot that I've already pre-tied, slide it up the top, then extend that out. Go just round, not tight. If you're like us and you live in a very hot part of the country, like the Northern Territory, this is excellent. You need a bit of airflow going through your stuff, but you also don't want to get rain on all the time. So it's good to have a bit of airflow through your swag, but also have a bit of space to then spread out. Also, you can put your runners and all that under cover, which is fantastic. And you've got a lot of these bags, which realistically you can use as a bit of matting outside because it all packs up into that. So look, it is a bit of a complicated swag in that sense. It's got a lot of parts and a lot of little features, but what you get out of it is a really well constructed airframe, which has a lot of roof height, and it also is made out of very good quality materials. Firstly, can hold up the weight of small dogs, but as well as that too, we left this in the rain for about 3 days and had no ingress. So overall though, very fantastic design. What we're going to do now is we're just going to set up the Wanderer and just sort of show you a bit of a side-by-side comparison of what they offer as sort of a similar comparable price swag. So you've got 2 very comparable swags in terms of cost, but you get very different features out of them. Not to say that either is necessarily better overall, but you do get certain features in the SAN HIMA that you don't in the Wanderer. Look, in terms of setup time, the Wanderer is definitely going to win that. It's just got a few less components. But as well as that too, it's an incredibly basic swag with realistically no additional features like this one. In terms of space, once you're inside, the SAN HIMA is head and shoulders above. You have a much larger roof and a much larger width versus the Wanderer where you can barely sit up in it. And if you want to get changed in it and that sort of thing, it's quite difficult. Additionally too, this is definitely a 1-person swag. Absolutely no question about it. This is potentially an intimate 2-people swag. In terms of pack-up size, you would have seen SAN HIMA absolutely smash the Wanderer. Wanderer is a very bulky swag once it's set up, with not a lot of additional room for anything else, so you can't fit your pillows or anything in there. With the SAN HIMA, you would have the ability to fit your pillows in the bags, and it would still be smaller than the Wanderer. In terms of rigidity, it's pretty comparable. I mean, that does cave after about 10-15 kilos. This one, I don't want to try it exactly. I did put the weights on top and it started to bend significantly. But in terms of broad shape, strength, that sort of stuff, they're both going to be able to stand up to good quality winds. And you could realistically use them in pretty much any kind of conditions. In terms of mattress thickness, the Wanderer has a 7cm mattress and then the SAN HIMA has a 17. So what I've found camping in the Wanderer quite a few times is if you've got rocks in the ground, you will feel them punching through into your back a little bit, whereas you're not going to get that on a really thick air mattress. That's probably the biggest perk there. So that's the first night sleeping in the SAN HIMA inflatable swag. It was a really comfy sleep. We had a bit of rain last night, and then obviously the sun's kicked in the morning. I pulled the flaps up this morning just to give it a bit of airflow going through the night. Held up perfectly to the rain. There's not a drop inside. And it kept its rigid frame throughout the night, even though there was a fair bit of wind going around. So I'm really happy with this swag. It's a really cool design. It's got some good perks over regular swags, and something different for sure. Thanks again, Big Off Roads, for the product. Really good design, and I highly recommend it.